If you can laugh together, you can work together. We work together. No one is more important than the other. We are all Zimbabweans. We want to grow our economy. We want peace in our country. We have a vision of South Africa in which black and white shall live and work together as equals in conditions of peace and prosperity. I would like to be coaching in the right situation if it's a team effort and doesn't have a bunch of mini agendas. I want something where the school wants to win and values graduation and everybody wants to work together. Immigrants and Native Americans have made our country what it is today, and if we've learned anything through these hundreds of years, it should be that we can accomplish more when we work together. The best way to begin genuine bipartisanship to make America stronger is to work together on the real crises facing our country, not to manufacture an artificial crisis to serve a special interest agenda out of touch with the needs of Americans. Puffy produced 4 of the tracks on the album. Those are the 4 songs that are collaborations between Puffy and me. And he gives me my space to work even when we work together, like with my producer and my vocal coach. Once Canadians no longer believe that there is any good in politics, they no longer feel we can work together to solve the challenges we're facing, and that is my fundamental motivation. How do we work together as a country to solve the big challenges we're facing? The better we understand how identities and power work together from one context to another, the less likely our movements for change are to fracture. I grew up upper class, private school. My dad had a Jaguar. We're African American, and we work together as a family, so people assume we're like the Jacksons. But I didn't have parents using me to get out of a bad situation. When the mind, body, and spirit work together, I believe anything is possible. Progress is only possible if the United States and its allies work together. It does make it very clear, what can happen if you do have the right people, the right skill mix, that are trained and they're assembled in this team and they work together under the right leadership. What a miracle can happen. And that's what was the case of Apollo 13. We are also in the process of defining how best to work together with food and other companies to address diet and physical activity factors in order to prevent chronic diseases. Tony Visconti and I had been wanting to work together again for a few years now. Both of us had fairly large commitments and for a long time we couldn't see a space in which we could get anything together. Married couples who work together to build and maintain a business assume broad responsibilities. Not only is their work important to our local and national economies, but their success is central to the well-being of their families. Perhaps we should worry less about judging people for being Mormon or Baptist or Muslim or gay or straight or black or white or Latino or by their religious or political brands and worry more about electing thoughtful, serious and ethical politicians on both sides of the political aisle who are willing to work together for progress. Your most precious possession is not your financial assets. Your most precious possession is the people you have working there, and what they carry around in their heads, and their ability to work together. When women work together, it's a bond unlike any other. What's natural and right is to go with the energy of how it all has to work together. What's natural and right is interconnectedness, not individualism. What is natural and right is respect for the system, not killing the system. What's natural and right is love. Nobody in Europe will be abandoned. Nobody in Europe will be excluded. Europe only succeeds if we work together. Neither man nor woman is perfect or complete without the other. Thus, no marriage or family, no ward or stake is likely to reach its full potential until husbands and wives, mothers and fathers, men and women work together in unity of purpose, respecting and relying upon each other's strengths. If the chemistry is right between star and photographer and the geometry of the pictures pleases the star, often the two people end up with a long-term professional friendship during which they continue to work together and to produce highly personal images. My father thought of America as the last best hope for humanity. He believed we had a historical mission to be a paragon to the rest of the world, to be about what human beings can accomplish if they work together and maintain their focus. You're not going to be great at everything. Surround yourself with people that can complement you so you can work together and then everybody can be successful. Without social cohesion, the human race wouldn't be here. We're not formidable enough to survive without the tactics, rules and strategies that allow people to work together. From the depth of need and despair, people can work together, can organize themselves to solve their own problems and fill their own needs with dignity and strength. Creating a better world requires teamwork, partnerships, and collaboration, as we need an entire army of companies to work together to build a better world within the next few decades. This means corporations must embrace the benefits of cooperating with one another. I have always believed that technology should do the hard work, discovery, organization, communication, so users can do what makes them happiest, living and loving, not messing with annoying computers. That means making our products work together seamlessly. My personal opinion, Suni Williams, I think that when we really leave the planet, we all go as humans, not as people from one country or another. We are humans, we work together. This is our only planet as human beings that we know of, so we all should have an interest in preserving it. We need to rediscover the idea of the common good and work together to build a home. Every global concern, economic, environmental or security-related, can be addressed more effectively when the US and China work together. I've teamed up with PetSmart Charities to celebrate the 5 million homeless pets who found homes through their in-store adoption centers, and to spread the word about how we can work together to save millions more pets' lives and, ultimately, end pet homelessness. It's time to put our differences aside and find ways to work together to move Wisconsin forward. That's a gift God's given us, the ability to work together in collaborations. As long as a house is like yours, and as long as you work together with your brothers, not a house in the world will be able to compete with you, to cause you harm or to take advantage of you, for together you can undertake and perform more than any house in the world. People who work together will win, whether it be against complex football defenses, or the problems of modern society. We collectively, to get things done, work together as a team, because the work really happens horizontally in our company, not vertically. Products are horizontal. It takes hardware plus software plus services to make a killer product. Governments, the investor and business community, and civil society organizations and public representatives need to work together to ensure the necessary foundations are in place to align private finance to guarantee sustainable and equitable development and poverty reduction. Particularly when you're dealing with very high-ranking people, you have to get their attention. They are used to, by their rank, of having their own way and doing their own thing, and when it's necessary to all work together on something, sometimes you have to hit the mule between the eyes with a 2x4 to get its attention. Fencing is a game of living chess, a match where reflexes only work in combination with intent, and mind and body must work together at every moment. Ideology and communication more often than not run into each other rather than complement each other. Principle and communication work together. Ideology and communication often work apart. Words and pictures can work together to communicate more powerfully than either alone. I like the individualism about it. I like how each player is kind of different. It's a team sport, but still, once you've got the ball in your hand, you can kind of create things. But I like the team dynamic about it also. You've got to work together in soccer to score a goal. I believe that if today's youth work together raising our collective voice, we can affect the positive environmental change that planet Earth needs so desperately. We know the threats, from global terrorist networks to the spread of deadly weapons. Yet we also know that embedded in this time of danger is the promise of a new day, if we have the courage and commitment to work together. I think a big part of my faith teachings is to work together towards equality, that we're all created equal, and under the eyes of God, we all have a right to freedom and to access our rights equally. Let's stand together, stick together, and work together for justice of every description. Racial justice, gender justice, immigrant justice, economic justice, environmental justice. The community that stands behind a culture as a comprehensively productive personality must be so extensive that in it, to a certain degree, all partialities balance out and work together. So you can't lose serving God, and that all things work together for good. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.